Welcome to Biohacking with Brittany. Thank you for listening today to this podcast episode. Whether you are a new listener or you are an OG, I appreciate you sticking around and listening and learning about health and wellness with me. If you have not entered my birthday giveaway, I really suggest you do so as soon as you can. Today is the last day for you to enter. It is closing at midnight tonight on Friday, September 8th. So please enter the giveaway. You could win one of two prize boxes. Each is worth over $2,200 USD. And each is filled with wellness and health and biohacking tools, whether it's skincare or supplements or gear or at-home tests or red light therapy, like all sorts of things. And it's really just such a good way to get the products that you've kind of seen and you've always wanted, but also learn about new brands and products in the space that maybe you haven't heard of, but you actually really need and think are really cool and you're interested in them. So it's going to be awesome when I send out the boxes next week. I cannot wait for it. And I'm just so happy to be able to give the gift of health to two lucky winners this season. And I'm just really excited about it. So please enter, share it with your friends and your family, share it with people who are interested in health and wellness like yourself, and really just promote it if you can, because I think it's awesome that someone gets to win. So today we are talking all about blue light. We're talking about blue light blocking glasses. We're talking about eye health and a lot of different things that I have really been interested in the last few years. So I kind of talk about this on the episode, but I spent 2019 hacking my sleep, let's say. I did a deep dive on things that I wanted to bring in to really support my sleep so that I could sleep better. I noticed that I was waking up several times throughout the night and I didn't feel refreshed in the morning. And I was like, okay, I really need to do something about this. And so I did a whole bunch of things. And, sleep biohacking could be its own episode. And I should do an episode on that because now I sleep very well. And I actually just got a couple new things that I'm trying for it as well. And I will also mention those and bring those up. But part of what I've been doing since 2019 is using blue light blocking glasses. And the company today, Filter Optix, these are the ones that I currently use. I use their red ones, and they are easily the most comfortable glasses I've used, the most stylish, and the ones that block enough blue light for me. So previously, when I've tried other ones, they have been too light, to be honest. Like they haven't blocked enough blue light, or they've just not been very comfortable or stylish. And I kind of look like I'm in the Matrix or look like ridiculous, like a bug or something. And so it's been really cool to find a company that has beautiful glasses that block enough light for my level, for what I'm looking for. And yeah, so these are the ones that I always recommend to everybody. They have multiple glasses, and we talk about this on the episode. They have ones that are yellow. They have ones for computers. They have all different types of lenses and frames and colors and just options for you. So they're just such an awesome company. And I really appreciate everything that they did for this podcast episode and everything that they did to be involved in this giveaway as well. So if you are battling with sleep, if you struggle to fall asleep at night, if you wake up multiple times throughout the night, if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel refreshed, if you just have really bad sleep metrics as well, like say you track your sleep with an Oura Ring, I would really suggest looking at blue blockers as a way to support your sleep if you haven't already. I put mine on a couple hours before I go to sleep. So I will watch Netflix with them. I will clean the dishes with them, whatever I'm doing at night. And it really does make a difference for me. In addition, I also have red lights in my bedroom. So the two lights that are on either side of the bed are these red lights. And even though I have only red lights in the bedroom, I still wear the blue blockers when I'm in there as well. Just because I feel like there's sometimes light that comes through the window, or maybe something is plugged in and has a blue light on it, or there's all these like little light sources. So you have to kind of just be very aware of them. And I have very, very sensitive eyes. So for me, the blue blockers are required and necessary. And I just think they're just pivotal for optimal health. And it's one of those categories within the biohacking space that has exploded in the last few years. I feel like blue blocking glasses and red light therapy are the two that I've seen grow the most. So when I started biohacking in like 2018, I kind of knew of a couple different companies who were making blue blocking glasses. And now there are so many, and it's the same thing with red light therapy. And it's cool to find the company that I'm like, okay, this is the company I'm sticking with. This is what I like. And, they hit all the points on my checklist. And I think that's just cool and really important. So enjoy this podcast episode. If you haven't entered my giveaway, please do so. Today is the last day, like I said. I will be back next week for another couple of episodes on Tuesday and Friday. That's typically when I release podcast episodes. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so at Biohacking Brittany, and TikTok as well. I've been creating new content on TikTok that's a little different than what I've been doing on Instagram. So there's a lot on there right now about preconception health and this cleanse that I'm doing called Baby Steps, and kind of what that looks like in more detail. So enjoy, and I will catch you next week for another episode. Welcome to Biohacking with Brittany. I am so excited that you are listening today for this episode. And I'm so excited that this is part of the birthday giveaway that I am doing that is now wrapping up. If you have not entered yet, I really suggest you do so. This is the biggest giveaway that I've done to date. And it's just for all of the people out there who love wellness and health and biohacking. And there's supplements and devices and tech and gear. And honestly, it's quite a wide range of products. So definitely check it out if you haven't checked it out already. And today we are talking all things blue light. I have Filter Optix with me. I have Robin, who is one of the founders, and we're going to dive into how this affects our health, whether you are sensitive to blue light or not, and what you can really do about it. So, Robin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's nice to be on your show, and I'm excited to talk about our glasses and about blue light.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you explain the inspiration behind starting your blue light blocking glasses company, Filter Optix?
Yeah, sure. So it started, Hendrik and I, we met at college or university, and we studied together. We became friends, and we just realized we're both very health interested. And we just started talking about, things that we like doing, things to improve our health, and how we also wanted to kind of share that with everyone else around us. And so we were just spitballing back and forth, like, what could we do? Like, what would be fun? And how could we share this, make, this exciting for other people as well. And then we started hearing about blue light glasses or blue light blocking glasses. And we're thinking, well, we see there's this is very new. Not a lot of people know about this. And we saw that there's not a lot of great glasses out there. In the beginning, especially, so many glasses came out that looking not great, and not stylish. It wasn't emphasized in the beginning, and understandably, because the focus was just how can we just block blue light? And you can do that fairly easily with just simple glasses. But we wanted glasses that could not only do the job, but also look good, because we wanted not just the health crazy people like me and my friend Hendrik to be interested. We wanted everyone to be interested. And so for that, a lot of times we like looking good while being healthy, right? It's like the combination of feeling good, looking good makes you feel good. And so we're thinking, well, we can definitely make something look better while also creating something that's of really good quality, because we also realized nobody had really made really good quality glasses at that point. And so that's when it started. And it started out like we weren't so focused on just, oh, we're going to make the best thing ever. But as we went along, we just thinking like, but let's make it even better. Let's just do this and that. And then it became making the frames the most stylish frames that we could ever imagine. And then it became, okay, let's make it out of materials that are like really good. And let's just make them also eco-friendly, biodegradable. And then it was like, okay, let's use like the best lenses possible. And then let's do like spectrometer tests and test the light so that we can get exactly the light curves through the lenses that we want. Like we specially made them in labs. And then it was, okay, hey, let's make the lenses even better and create these coatings on both sides of the lenses so that they get like the best properties possible, like scratch resistant, super hydrophobic, anti-static, anti-glare, grease friendly, easy to clean, like all those properties. We wanted to make, along the way, the best product possible. And that's how we ended up where we are today.
Nice. I love that. I love that you combine the best of fashion, style, technology, health awareness, and being eco-friendly. And that says a lot, because that's no easy task for anybody. And you've obviously taken the time to really be very, very thoughtful in your designs. And I really appreciate that, because I have tried many blue blockers, and I use yours, and I use your red Venus ones. And I literally wear them every single night, and it looks ridiculous, but a lot of blue blockers do, because of, it's just the red frames, but yours at least don't make me look kind of like an alien or anything like that, kind of like some of the other ones that I've had. And the other thing I will say about yours is that they are very light on my face and they're very soft. So some of the other ones I've worn, I feel like kind of, I don't know if this is correct, but like they kind of like dig into my skin almost and like leave marks on my nose, or they just don't fit very well. They don't feel comfortable, but yours are very comfortable and very easy to wear. So I've been very, very impressed, honestly, using yours.
Happy to hear that. The design has been made we've designed them ourselves, but in collaboration with frame designers that know what they're doing. So like every detail that's in this design, it's made for comfort and it's also made for quality. So we really, that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in, is that we want to give everyone the best product. And that's why we always put the premium stamp on our product when we market it, because a lot of people wonder like, but why is it so expensive? And well, it's expensive to make really good quality glasses. So that's the reason.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think, and I'm sure you've noticed this, like over the years, there's been more and more brands that have come out, even on Amazon. It's like, buy these cheap blue blocking glasses on Amazon, and they look awful. And they look awful. And like, I just also imagine, because I've never bought them, like I also imagine that they are just like cheap and like probably don't last very long and not very durable. And you also, like you briefly mentioned, like you use materials that are sustainable and eco-friendly. And I have said this before in other podcasts, but I feel like the biohacking space is not necessarily the most eco-friendly space, because it's very much a lot about like consumerism and buying these different products and stuff like that. So can you kind of speak to the type of eco-friendly materials that you've kind of discovered and you use in your glasses?
Yeah, so a lot of glasses, they use a material that is either plastic, they call it TR39, I believe, or something like that, which, is not eco-friendly at all. And then you have acetate, which is cotton based, which is better. But then you have, because I mean, it all comes to how it breaks down in nature, right? So normally when they do the testing of how it breaks down, you have like, it breaks down so and so much after so and so many days. And then you can see like a percentage of the breakdown. And with these, most glasses that you'll find is that they're not going to break down at all. It's plastic. But with acetate, it's actually cotton based. So it's actually derived from cotton. So it will break down over time. But cotton or the standard acetate will still need a lot more time than if you have, let's say, biodegradable acetate, which is the bioacetate that we're using. And so the reason why we were going for that, because I mean, we started out not being sure what to go for, or actually not being aware of the bioacetate. And then we became aware of it. And we're like, but if we're going to be focusing on health, we should focus on the bioacetate, because healthy nature is healthy us, humans. So yeah, so with this, I mean, it has to be, the breakdown doesn't just start on your face. I mean, you're not going to put them in the closet and they're just going to start breaking down. It's going to have to be in the right environment, which is, when they end up outside in the nature, for example, then with the right type of moisture and bacterias and things like that, then they'll start breaking down much faster than the standard acetate.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Was creating these blue blocking glasses part of your personal health journey in terms of like you potentially being very sensitive to blue light? Because I know some people are more sensitive to blue light than others. So I'm curious how this like personally related to you on your own health journey.
I never realized how sensitive I was before I actually started wearing them, because I lived my life like most not thinking about how light affects my sleep. So for me, it was just, I always thought that I slept well. I always thought that if I just go to bed at the same time, of course that there are a lot of things you can do for good health or for sleep hygiene, I mean, and the aspect of light wasn't really something that I was thinking about or focusing on. But it was once I started wearing them, because Henrik, he actually bought me some other glasses that's way before we started this, off of Amazon. And he's like, try these on. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it for fun. And because he had already been wearing them for a little bit, and he's like, they're really awesome. You're going to like them. And I started wearing them. And I was like, this really makes a difference. Like I could feel it right away that I'm actually feeling more relaxed. I'm like winding down and going to bed. It just felt so much easier. And so once I got into it, I was like, oh, I can't go back, because now I'm not really light sensitive, but I feel like I am in comparison to other people, because now I just feel like all light in the evening is like, yeah, I really avoid it. So,
yeah, I can relate to that so much. I had no idea how much it was impacting me until I started cutting it out through using glasses, and also just like dimming the lights at night, or like having red lights in my apartment, that type of thing. And now that I've been doing it for so many years, I can't go back to not doing it. And anytime I'm traveling, or let's say I go home for Christmas or something like that, and it's like 9 p.m. and the ceiling lights are on and it's so bright. And I'm like, guys, like, what are you doing? This is terrible. And then I'm supposed to fall asleep in an hour. Are you kidding me? This is not going to work. And so now I travel with my blue blockers and I wear them in front of everybody at night. And I don't care, because people already know I'm super into health, and it's just kind of like comes with the package at this point. But you're so right. Like once you start using them, you can't go back, because you actually feel so much better.
It's true. And most people, even just friends coming over or people trying them on for the first time, they don't really believe it before they experience it. And oftentimes you can just put them on for just a few minutes, and then you already realize like, oh, there's a difference. There's a big difference. And you realize it with just how your head relaxes, your mood just enhances, you just feel so much more relaxed. So yeah, there's a big difference, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you. So if people have the red glasses, how early should they start wearing them before they're going to go to sleep?
So our general recommendation is a couple of hours before you go to bed. You can put them on even earlier. It really, if you're going to kind of follow the paleo kind of circadian rhythm where you didn't really have artificial lights, I mean, bonfires don't really count because the wavelengths that you get from bonfires are really heavy on the red spectrum. So you're not going to get blue light from a bonfire. So before we started creating our artificial lights, you wouldn't really get any blue light after the sunset. So after the sun goes down. So technically, you could put them on at the time when the sun goes down. But, in certain countries, like in Norway, where I'm from, in the summer, the sun doesn't go down. So then the question is, when do you put them on? And so that's why I always say like a couple of hours before you go to bed. You can put them on a little bit earlier if you want, but if you put them on a couple of hours before, and you also have to think of, what's practical. And in some cases, if you go to bed at 10, putting them on at 8, that's already quite early for a lot of people. So putting them on even earlier could be a little bit of a hassle for some.
Yeah. I go to bed pretty early. So I like to have like lights out by 9:30 and like start winding down at like 8:45. And I typically put them on after I'm done dinner. Sometimes I do eat dinner with them on if I'm eating dinner late, to be honest, but it's got to be at least by 8 p.m. they have to be on. And I will say it is harder in the summer because the sun goes down at like 10 p.m. here in Canada around this, the summertime. And so it's harder when you're wearing them and it's still bright outside. And then on the flip is like in the winter, it's dark by 5 p.m., but I'm not going to put them on at 5 because then I'm going to be really tired and like not even make it to 8:30 or whatever, 9 o'clock. So you do have to kind of play around a bit with your timing, but I found like once you've used them for a few weeks, like you figure out when you need to put them on essentially.
And there's no one size fits all in terms of when to put them on. So, I mean, putting them on at all is going to help you. Like even if it's just a half an hour before you go to bed. I notice sometimes, if you're really busy, things are going on, maybe you're outside and coming back home, come back a little bit late, just putting them on just a little bit before going to bed, that's also going to create a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, if you wake up during the night is also really pivotal to wear them. So like sometimes I get up or go to the bathroom if I wake up type of idea. And I don't turn the lights on, but if I do have to turn the lights on, I'll definitely use the blue blockers because I'm just sensitive to light. And I know if I see a bright light, like I know immediately it's going to be harder for me to go back to sleep because the bright light suppresses melatonin, as a lot of people know. So I'm sensitive to it. And then I also think about, I'm not at this life stage right now, but I think about all the parents out there with new babies who get up in the middle of the night to like breastfeed type of thing. And I don't know how they do that without using blue blockers. Like if you're getting up at, 3 a.m. every night for a middle of the night feed, I don't know how they go back to sleep afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's putting on blue light blockers, like good ones. They make such a big difference for those that have night shifts, for example, or those that travel across time zones. I recently traveled from Bolivia. So going back and forth, I put on the blue blockers and I shifted the time zones so quickly. Like I was so baffled. Like I couldn't even imagine that I would shift so quickly over to the new time zones. But because of the blue light blockers, it didn't really take me a day to get back into the normal rhythm of the time zone that I arrived at. So things like that, like I've also had experiences where I've had night shifts, for example, and it's like crazy. You really don't want to work night shifts, of course, but some people do, and it's necessary. But if you wear them, they make such a big difference. Like even though it's not ideal, it's definitely going to do so much for your sleep because the blue light does so much in disrupting your melatonin production or secretion. And also it's about the cortisol that it creates. Your body produces more cortisol because of the stress of the blue light. So, I mean, technically cortisol isn't like bad. It's just you need cortisol at the right time with the right amount. And normally, like when you wake up, you get a lot of blue light from the sun, and you're supposed to get a lot of blue light, and it's supposed to help you wake up. But at night, when you go to bed, you're not supposed to get that high energy blue light spectrum because it's going to still wake you up. It's going to give you that energy and cortisol release, and that's not what you want at that time.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it. I'm curious, and I don't know, I don't think you do on your website, but do you have any products for kids or like, I know it would be so hard to make something for babies, but I'm just thinking of this like same narrative of like kids waking up in the middle of the night or struggling to go to sleep or having a cortisol spike. Like how can we support them? I mean, would they wear glasses? I don't know. Like, what do you think about the impact of blue light on children?
So I was listening to Andrew Huberman recently about having these night lights on because we've always been thinking like, oh, we got to make sure that the kids feel comfortable and safe and so on. And lights help them sometimes feel, that going to sleep isn't so scary. But in reality, the light, even though you have your eyes closed, it penetrates your eyelids and it affects your sleep. And so you're not going to get as much of the deep sleep and REM sleep as you actually need. And I think when it comes to kids, first of all, you shouldn't be using these lights. I mean, if you're going to be using any light, it's going to have to be on the red end of the spectrum so that it's not as disrupting. And it also has to be dimmed so it's not as bright because even bright red light can disturb your sleep. So first of all, stay away from having this bright, like we also use way too much LED lights nowadays. So, and I know some kids or some parents, they hang up all these like lights all over the room because it makes the room pretty and it blinks and it's exciting and everything. And sometimes they want to have it on when they go to sleep. And it's so bad though. Like it's really bad for the sleep. And just turn off all those lights and maybe put on, have these red spectrum lights somewhere, maybe in the hallway, maybe in the bathroom, so that when they do wake up or if they need to go to the bathroom at night, at least it doesn't wake them up that much. And so that you can easily fall asleep again and get a good night's sleep. So when it comes to the size, so we don't offer kid size glasses at the moment. Like we've been thinking a lot about it, and it's a little bit difficult there are so many sizes, so many sizes of kids. And I think in general, I think it's a good idea to have glasses for kids. It's just the market at the moment is also not that big. So it's very difficult to sell to kids that most kids aren't really interested in things like that. Right. And of course, your parents can tell you wear them. And then maybe if you're a good kid, you will. But I'm thinking like what you can do as a parent is also limit the screen time. be like, hey, for the last hour or hour and a half, let's not be on the screens. Let's not be on TV. Let's not be on the iPad or phones or whatever it is. Let's just play around with our toys. Let's do something different. Because I think that's a much better way to wind them down and then give them proper sleep.
Yeah, I love that. I love everything that you said. I've seen, for the parents out there, I've seen a lot of, what are they called? Like little lights that you can plug into the wall that are red for babies, for kids, or that type of thing. So it's actually becoming more common now to use red light at night for kids. And I think that's really great to see that. But yeah, those like twinkle lights or anything that like glows in the dark type of thing as well is just like a no-go. But I would be very interested in blue blocking glasses for kids because I can just imagine all the practical uses of it, of like, even, okay, we're going to stay up later tonight and watch a movie. Sure. But like, let's all wear blue blocking glasses. Or maybe we're traveling on a plane and there's always the blinking lights inside of a plane, right? And so like, how do we mitigate that blue light? So I think there are uses for it, but I agree with you. I don't think the average person would necessarily know about this yet, but the market will get there though. It definitely will, because it's growing so much. And when I first heard about blue blockers in 2018, I think it was like a fraction of what it is now. I knew of one company and now there's so many. So it's really cool to see people adopting this. And I think it's really important. So, yeah. And I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm curious. I know we kind of talked about like the different lenses that you have. So we talked about the red ones, but you have actually 4 different kinds. So you also have, I think it's like the computer glasses, the yellow ones, the red ones, and then is the 4th one the orange ones?
Yeah, you could say that. So, I mean, I would say orange before red, if in that order. But yeah, that is the last 4th color.
So do you feel like ideally, would somebody switch lenses throughout the day? Like, starting with the clearest ones in the morning type of thing, and then work their way to the red? Do you think that's like what people should be doing?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, if that's what you like to do, then please go ahead and do that. Because I think the reason, not that I think the reason is, the reason is that we made the 4 different lenses is we want to accommodate all people in all circumstances, and people use glasses in different settings and for different reasons. So we could technically force people to say, no, you should only be using this and that. So if I were to say like, you're going to only use red because red is going to give you the most optimal sleep, and so therefore you have to use red, or use yellow because yellow is definitely better than clear because it blocks out more blue light. So I could just tell you what to do in that sense, but the thing is, in some instances, maybe you need to see more color because you're an artist and you work on the computer and you need to see more colors, and you can't get have the color distortion from the yellow lenses, but you can still get a lot of the alleviation from the clear glasses. And so you want to get the blue light blockers, you want to wear them, you want to get a lot of the benefits. It's just that you can't wear colored lenses. So in that case, we have the clear lenses for you because then you can use them for your work. Or it can be some people aren't really comfortable with wearing colored lenses in front of other people. So in front of their colleagues, for example. And so we understand that people have different preferences, or it can just be the way you feel like you look. I don't like yellow on my face. It can be different things, right? But we're just going to give you the options, and then you can choose, because they're all going to give you a benefit to some extent, or to certain extents. So the clear one's going to give you a lot of the benefits that you want, but maybe not as many benefits or as much benefit as the yellow. So the yellow is definitely going to give you more benefits when it comes to relaxing in your eyes and your head and going to give you more energy as you're working on the computer. So those are like daytime lenses, right? So the clear and yellow. You don't want, you can wear them in the evening, but they're not going to give you as much benefit because they don't block all blue light. So they block, the clear one will block 35% of the blue light, total blue light in total, but the yellow lenses will block all the blue light all the way up to 470 nanometers. So you remove most of the blue light that you get from the computer screens or other screens because most of the blue light comes from the 450 nanometer wavelength. And so, you're going to get more benefits from the yellow ones, but you can still get a lot of benefits from the clear ones. When it comes to orange and red, they're both blocking all blue light. Orange blocks all the way up to 520, and then the red one all the way up to 550. Now, I have to point out that a lot of brands, they say they block all the way up to 550 with their red lenses. This is not actually true. Like, the reason why I say this is because we've tested all our competitors. Most of them are not honest about this. So that's why you'll notice that with our red lenses, they're a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more red than other blue light red glasses. So that one is going to block some of the green light spectrum as well. So because we don't really talk too much about the green light spectrum as that one being disruptive of your sleep, but actually it is to some extent. So we focus on the blue light spectrum, but it's not like you can't wear the orange ones and still get this maybe just as much effect as wearing the red ones, because it depends on what you do in the evening. If you already dim your lights, for example, or you already use like a screen, what's it called? Shield, then you can stack things on top of each other and that will also give an effect. So a lot of times I like wearing orange ones because it gives you a little bit more color contrast. So if I enjoy seeing a little bit more colors, then I'll wear the orange ones. And then if I just don't need colors, don't care about colors, then I'll use the red ones.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I really prefer the red ones at night. I've tried orange ones at night before, but I just found it wasn't enough for me. And I don't use yellow ones during the day, although I have before, and I do notice a difference when I'm at my computer. It's almost like you feel a bit more happier and energized, like you said, and you actually notice a difference within minutes. It's pretty profound. So I like hearing you talk about this makes me realize that I really should be using like yellow glasses at my desk every day because I work online all day at my computer, and the eye strain and the headaches and everything that comes from that is so significant. And for a lot of people, and it's also like, I don't even know, like day in and day out of doing it, right? And I think about this too, is like, how is the impact on my eye health today versus what it's going to mean for my eyes in 10 years when I will likely still be working online remotely in 10 years. And maybe something like using yellow glasses every day can really slow down degrading the eyes over time like that.
Yeah. Macular degeneration. Yeah, it's very common and we don't really think about it too much. It's the slow trickle oftentimes is what's bad for our health. Same with things that we eat or habits. We normally don't notice the bad effects just from sitting in front of the screen just 1 day, 2 days, 1 week. But it's like you don't really notice it before you actually start noticing it, and then it's too late. And so that's why it's better to take these measures early on. And I also argue that you're just gonna love it anyways. Like you're really gonna enjoy putting on those glasses. I really love putting on my glasses because it really does boost your mood, makes you feel better. Everything's so nice and vibrant, and I think everyone just would be happier using them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that you do feel the benefit right away. And then there's also the long-term benefits as well, which is really nice. Because sometimes like with these different strategies that we employ for like optimal health and longevity, they're kind of working sometimes on like a cellular level. Let's say it's like a supplement, and you don't necessarily feel the difference that day or right away when you take it. So it's nice to do something where it's like, okay, this feels good right now, and this is good long term. Then it kind of motivates you to actually use it every single day and stick to it and make it part of like your healthy routine and habits. Yeah.
And I think you can also feel it with how you wake up in the morning, how rested you feel. So if you feel a difference when it comes to your circadian rhythm, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's been so ingrained in me now to use blue blocking glasses at night. I started using it in 2019, and it just made such a difference on my sleep, which then made a difference on my energy and my mood and everything. It really just like trickles down. And so it's one of those, biohacks, let's say, that I can't live without. And I haven't lived without for over 4 years now.
Cool. Yeah. It's good to hear.
So if people want to connect with you and try your glasses, where can they do that?
So we usually come to different events. I mean, we started out in 2020, so we're fairly new. So we're based in Norway, but we've been to the Biohacker Summit in the Netherlands, and we've been to the Health Optimization in London. We're going to have a stand at the Dragonfly in Colorado in a couple of months. So, I mean, those are the places you can try out our glasses. But besides that, you can visit our website at I don't need to do the W's maybe anymore, but yeah, filteroptix.com. And you have our Instagram at Filter Optix. So follow us on Instagram and we'll be really happy.
Okay, will do. I will link that in the show notes and on my website so people can find you and check you out. I also have a discount code, I think, with your glasses as well. So I will pop that in there as well. And so people can find you and use your glasses. Yes. And like I said, if anyone's curious, I'm pretty sure they're called the Venus ones.
It's the Ventus.
Ventus. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Ventus. I was like, anyway, Ventus.
I'm going to give you a little hint or to all your listeners, the names of our glasses all mean something. Also the colors, they all mean something.
Oh, what? I didn't know that. Wait, I'm just going to pull it up right now. What does it mean? Are you going to tell me or no?
I'll leave it as a little secret, and then you can I think most people can figure it out, but they're different languages and they mean different things.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes. So I use the Ventus. I'm looking at it right now, and I have the color saffron, which is like the color of the frame. And then my lens is red. And I love these. These are so, so comfortable. So I will link these directly as well so people can take a look at them, because these ones are easily my favorite blue blockers I've ever tried. So thank you so much for coming on the show, Robin. This was great to connect with you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And I think everyone is going to really get a lot out of this episode.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Biohacking with Brittany. If you're interested in finding the show notes or the sponsors for this episode, you can do so on my website, which is biohackingbrittany.com. Remember to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active. My handle is @biohackingbrittany. And if you're interested in working together and you want to email me directly, you can do that. My email is info@biohackingbrittany.com. And I look forward to hearing from you and having you tune in next week.